Hey everybody! Hi guys! Alright, as always I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. I am gonna make some guac because it's MAFS taco night. Self-declared. I don't know who else is doing it, but tag me in your pictures about the taco dinner you might be having. This is inspired by our MAFS couples who last week's episode, they all seem to be enjoying tacos. And I was like, I'm hungry, I want tacos. Okay, next week, MAFS taco night. I will also shout out to Bennett and Amelia who decided to go with box lo mein, which I didn't know that was a thing, but maybe that'll be another night that we do that. I don't know. So, yeah, anyway, it's MAFS Wednesday, so getting ready for that. All right, who has some questions? Waving to everybody. Thank you, guys. It's not Tuesday. We are breaking the rules. It might be illegal, and in Texas it could be illegal. So, shh, don't tell anybody. But it's MAFS taco night. Make sure you hashtag me. So, I'm going to start with making guac because it is a staple for tacos. I love guac. And my husband got everything that I needed for it. So, thank you, Daddy. All right, but meanwhile, you know, I'm living dangerously. Yes. Which couples do I keep in contact with? I keep in contact with almost all of the participants. So, yeah, it's one of those things where either I reach out or they reach out, but most of the time it's me just checking in to see how they're doing. All the participants I have a lot of care for because it takes a lot to be doing this. So, yeah. Okay, if you have any, oh, there's a question in the little question box. Let's see. Oh, not a question. Thank you. You are amazing too. Thank you. That was nice. All right, so I'm going to add some fresh avocados. And I am not a cook. I'm like one of those America's Worst Cook kind of people. But guac, it's pretty simple and tastes delicious. That's awesome that you keep in touch with all the participants. Yeah. I mean, some reach out more than others. I bet you can guess that there are some that probably don't want to hear from me. Oh, what have I seen change in the show since it started? Well, this is only my third season, so it's hard to say since it started. I would assume that I think one thing that we all are very cognizant of is that there are more and more viewers. So we have to make sure that people are trying to get on for the right reasons. It's like a really touchy subject for all three of us experts. We really don't want to get people who are on just for fame. Now, I didn't say the Q&A was about MAFS. If I can answer certain stuff, I will, but you're more than welcome to ask me questions about my career, which is about relationships and love and dating and sex and all that good stuff. Hi! Who is staying together? Haha, okay, well that's a good Q&A because I want to let everybody know, if you don't already, that I don't do spoilers. So you're not going to catch me slipping. You're just not. I don't do spoilers. I love surprises. I know that there are a lot of people who feel the same way. So I will say that based on the fact that they all got married at first sight, I hope that they all stay together, because we're always hoping for love. So if they have potential for love or see that in each other, I hope that it happens through our efforts. What made me decide to become a DMFT? Thank you for that question. So one of the things that I learned when I was getting my bachelor's is that there are different types of doctorates. It's not just like there's one. Ooh, should I use? Oh, I used the tea towel with a heart. The DMFT is a Doctor of Marriage and Family Therapy. It's a clinical degree. So what that means is that it is for clinicians who plan on seeing clients. Like that's what they want to do. So a PhD is oftentimes, but not always, geared towards somebody who wants to go into academia or research. And that wasn't really ever something that I wanted to do. So did not do that. And there are very few programs in the States that have, oh yeah, okay, I'll talk about how I got the pit out. There are very few programs that offer DMFT, so I went to two different ones. One was on the West Coast in Irvine, and the other one was in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, and Fort Lauderdale beat Irvine for lots of reasons, but I'm so glad that I ended up doing that because I'm a systems theorist and it's a systems theory program. Wasn't really sure what that was when I first started, but I'm so glad because it absolutely aligns with my ideals. I love everything having to do with relationships, and systems theory, if you ever do any searches on that, is all about how problems occur or are created within relationship to the issue, and it's not typically within the individual. So it's great to treat the problems as something that is happening within a relationship, that it's not within the person. Okay, so, oh, I got the pit out by, you know what, I'll do another one just to show you. Ooh, this one's ready. So I cut as you would, long ways. And then, of course, twist it. And then the one that has it, I hit it. Okay, well, you gotta hit it kind of in the middle, and then I twist it out. And then you can just squeeze the pit out off the knife, or you can hit it like on the side of the trash can or something. So that's how I do it. And, oh, and as far as why the DMFT again, I also did it because you don't have to have your doctorate in order to see clients. The terminal degree, which is what we call the degree that you have to have in order to be able to sit for licensure, is a master's degree. So you can have your master's degree, and of course the vast majority of people do have just their master's degree, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in my family and in the way that I was raised, it was kind of drilled into me, and I'm really glad it was, that if you're gonna go to school and it has a doctoral degree, you might as well just go for it, because you'll be more confident, you'll be more competent, and later on I came to find that I would be able to kind of leverage my doctorate and leverage that for more money and more opportunities. So yeah. So where does the sex therapy come in? Is that desperate? Oh, sorry, not desperate. Sorry, Rizzo. Although I know that's not your name. Desperate training or additional research? Separate training or additional research. I know what it's like to type really quickly. There she goes. So yes, it's absolutely separate training. If you're getting your master's in professional counseling or mental health or marriage and family therapy, you may have to take one class in sexual issues, and it may not even be therapy related. If you're getting a master's in marriage and family therapy, I can attest to the fact that it would be part of, it would be more like a sex therapy course, but that's like 3 hours. And if you've ever taken kind of a college course or even graduate school courses, you know that that's not a whole lot. It's kind of like an introductory sort of thing. I was in Florida, and in Florida, it's the only state in all of the US that requires that if you say that you're going to do sex therapy or that you are a sex therapist, if you say that you're a sex therapist, you have to be certified, which means that you have to go through almost, 250 hours? No, 150 hours. It's like a lot of hours of extra training with all sorts of sexual issues. And you know what? I prefer to use a fork to mash my guac. This thing is nice to get everything out of the avocado, but as far as mashing it, nothing like a fork. So, being in Florida, because that's where I was getting my master's and my doctorate, it's very common that you hear about certified sex therapists, which is not the case in lots of other places. So I was looking for something to do on the side because apparently getting your master's and doctorate is not enough. Now, I'm a busybody and I had time, and I was very fortunate to not have to work several jobs. I had to do several internships, but I didn't have to do several jobs at once, so I did have some extra time. Decided to get a certification in something, like have a specialty, and I didn't want to do play therapy or child therapy. I knew that would just be a little bit too sad for me. Substance abuse, not my thing. And like art therapy, you'll find I'm not very artistic at all. That's not a way to express myself. So when sex therapy came up, I was like, you know what, that's just interesting enough. And I think that if I were to ever have a couple who comes in who needs to talk about something sexual, I don't want to be like, what? So I ended up going through a program there with the late Dr. Susan Lee, and it was awesome. I really liked it, but I can't say that I was like, ooh, I'm going to be a sex therapist. It was more just like, ooh, toolkit. Like, I'm going to keep things on the side just in case I need these tools in the future. I'll have them, which was really exciting. Then I moved back to Texas as soon as I was done with all my doctoral coursework, and I had my, I put it on my card that I was a certified sex therapist, and it was like, boom, people were lined up. I had to get an intern almost right away, and then I had another one, and another one, and another one, and now the practice has grown. It's called Houston Relationship Therapy. The other thing about getting my sex therapy certification is that there are so few programs, especially back then, there were so few programs outside of like Florida, because it was very popular there, and then of course California. And so I was like, you know what? I have so many clients who have said they're going to their therapist, they really love them, they think they're super helpful, but they've come to a roadblock when it comes to talking about sexual issues. I am going to start my own certification program here in Texas and here in Houston, and now it's in Austin, and we're going to try to take it virtual in 2021 for clinicians who want to be able to do sex therapy competently. Again, a licensed clinician, mental health professional can do sex therapy. They may not have the training for it. So just like I'm allowed to do, substance abuse and play therapy and all those things, I'm allowed to, but is that my forte? No, so I don't do it unless it works within my scope of practice. Let me get a bowl real quick. Okay, so let's see what other questions you have. So yeah, I get why you say play therapy can be sad, but it's also fun because it's play. Yeah, but the truth is, it is play. You're right. But in my experience from the internships that I did, there's just what you're trying to help these kids with. At least again with the work that I was doing, it's really depressing for me personally, and it just wasn't something that I knew I'd be able to do for a really long time and be happy with it. I probably could have done it for a while, but it just wouldn't have been like for me, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's see, a bunch of other questions. Yes, next season's gonna be my hometown. I am so excited. I'm like, ah. I am freaking out about it. I'm very excited. Houston, better bring it. We need real people who are looking for love, who feel like they're ready. I can't say you know when you're ready, but feel like they're ready and are open to being guided by us. I want all of the couples that come out of Houston to be successful, and we can show them that like Houston is a great place for love. Let's see. Can your internship hours count towards the 2-year supervision required hours? For sex therapy certification through my program, yes. I love when you can, again, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, like I'm doing now. So yes, you can do that. And other questions. Who is gonna... Somebody thought they'd catch me slipping while I'm drinking my margarita. Nope. First year MFT students. Here's a little salt. MFT students, first year. Make sure you're getting as much experience getting relational hours, especially couples, not just families, but especially couples, if you are interested in going the sex therapy route. Yes, you will see a lot of individuals who are experiencing sexual issues if you go that, if you decide to do that. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a couples thing. And if you don't know how to work with couples, and if you don't feel comfortable working with couples, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for you to feel like you are efficient and competent. So yeah, I would definitely suggest try to get as much practice with couples and not just families. Okay, so that was a little bit of salt. And then Penzies. I don't know if Penzies is like national or if it's just in Houston, but we love Penzies. And this is lemon pepper seasoning. This is really good. Just put a little bit on top, maybe a lot, and then mix it in. Let's see, what other questions do y'all have? You're obsessed with my style, Adriana. Thank you so much. I do have a dedicated IG page that's just for style stuff and inspiration. If you're ever interested in where I get certain outfits for, the show, you can go to Dr. Viviana Style. So the same thing, Dr. Viviana and then Style. How long would a program be to go back for a counseling degree? I already have my master's in education, but want to maybe get into therapy. So it is separate. I don't know if any of your credits would transfer. A master's degree nowadays is 3 years. I think it's because they make it for working professionals, so it's a little bit, well, they extended the amount of hours. Used to be 45, now I think it's like in the 60 range. I could be wrong, correct me. It's been a while since I've gotten my master's. So I think the difference is it's gonna be longer and it's gonna take you 3 years. So, I don't know. Let's see, we've got, oh, thank you for following, Adriana. Let's see what other questions we've got. Okay, any advice for couples with differing sex drives? Oh, I guess I'm supposed to press it and do this thing. Okay, yeah, fancy. Well, that's very, very common. We are all human, and depending on how you're dealing with stress, whether or not you have dependents in the house, whether or not your schedules allow for it, I think it can be very difficult to overcome. But there are some strategies. First things first, you have to figure out for the person who's got the lower sex drive. Lower sex drive and lower sex frequency are two different things. So I'm going to go with drive. One of the things that I love to recommend for people who are experiencing low sex drive is that they read erotic literature. If you can get your brain stimulated and thinking about sex more often, you'll be much more likely to want to initiate or want to receive and be receptive to sexual advances. So that's kind of my go-to thing. You just reminded me my show comes on tonight. Hey, MAFS, yes. It's hashtag MAFS Taco Night, and I'm starting with guac and margaritas. Okay, I'm done with the guac, not done with my margarita. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate y'all logging on. That was really nice. So make sure if you are having taco dinner, it's MAFS Taco Night, so hashtag that, and then of course tag me. It's just something silly to do. We're having fun with this. All right. Thank y'all so much. Have a good night. Enjoy the show. Remember, Unfiltered comes on before, 30 minutes before, and then the new show starts tonight at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. See y'all later.